What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to R2 Reviews. This is Chad Sharp, and today I'm bringing you a rapid review of 2021. Not everything I've seen, but the notable ones. Now, for this list, these are just ones that I felt I had something to say about. These are not everything that I've seen. These are just the notable ones that I have picked for this list. Or I even forgot about some that I've watched. So starting off, we have Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. This one, to me, is the most offensive out of all this list. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I love the story. The acting in this is just subpar. It reminds me of a B movie, a straight-to-DVD movie that was somehow released in theaters. They made it to be... It was supposed to be just like the game and more closely related to the game, and I found it to be less related to the story, where they tried to mash the first game and the second game together, where they mixed a lot of the things that happen in different games to the other game and locations and everything. I just didn't like it. It wasn't... I seen what they were trying to do. Some of the actual visuals and the places that they go look exactly like the places, but it just didn't work for me. In all, I'll give that a 3 out of 10. I really didn't like that. Night House. Night House is a horror movie. It's more of a psychological thriller. It's not very scary, but this movie had really cool ideas and a really good concept, but they really dragged on about the basic story. Her husband kills himself like right in the beginning of the movie. You don't even see him. He's already dead. And she goes through this whole grieving period and whatever, and it's a very long, drawn-out beginning of her grieving. And then really at the end, there's a hint of like, he killed himself for a reason, but they kind of rush through with what the evidence was and what happened, and it could use a little more explaining at the end, but I really liked the concept. Just didn't really come to screen. I'll give that one a 6 out of 10. I liked it, but it just needed a little extra to be good. Cop Shop. Cop Shop is Gerard Butler and Frank Grillo. It's basically them just in this police station for 90% of this movie, and they're just really good actors. And basically Frank Grillo's character is on the run. You don't know what from, and through the story of the movie you find out why he's on the run, and all these people are after him, and this cop is trying to hold this police station down while people are trying to come after him. And it's really good. It's a action movie that has a pretty decent story. It's not crazy over the top, but there's some funny characters, and I like that movie. I'm gonna go with an 8 out of 10 for that. The Guilty. This is a Netflix movie. It should still be on there now if you want to check it out. And this movie, kind of like the way that they are only in the police station of Cop Shop, this is only in the call center of the police station, and it's just Jake Gyllenhaal. Basically the whole movie. There's like 3 other people in the movie, but Jake Gyllenhaal is basically the only person in it. You don't really see too much. He's just in this call center. You get a lot of the story told through the audio of the movie, and I think they did a great job doing it. There's a lady that is in trouble. She calls, and he gives her those little signs to get information from her because she has been taken from people. And the story that is told throughout, it's there's a lot of twists and turns, and it's very good. I'll give that an 8 out of 10 as well. The Protege. The Protege is like a cookie cutter type of action espionage spy movie. It's pretty much your run-of-the-mill type of movie. There's a female lead. She's very good. And she's really good. She has a really good character. But the movie is just so unoriginal. It's just very bland. And then there's some choices that are made that just because she's a woman as the lead of an action movie, that I don't know why they do that and make it like sexualized and stuff. Not my favorite. It was just an average cookie cutter movie. It's worth checking out if you want to see something and don't really care about a story, but whatever. 5 out of 10, average movie. Red Notice. Red Notice, another Netflix movie. Stars The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and this is another one. It's not an original story. It's very Indiana Jones-like, where they're hunting for this treasure, and the story just goes from there. If it wasn't for Ryan Reynolds and The Rock, I don't know if this movie really would be that good. But I do like Ryan Reynolds. I do like The Rock. I like their personalities. I like their comedy. And I thought it was okay. It wasn't great. But they are what I was watching the movie for. So 6 out of 10 for that. Suicide Squad. Now, this one is very polarizing for people. They either really love this movie or really hated this movie. I actually like this movie, and I'll tell you why. It reminds me a lot of the Deadpool movies. It's very over-the-top, ridiculous, comedy, almost borderline, not even borderline, it is a comedy of action, and it's just so out there that I find it funny. It's what a crazy idea of a Suicide Squad should be, because it's such a dumb idea that none of these guys really have powers. They try to take the first one too seriously. I really didn't like the first one. They try to take it seriously where you have people with baseball bats and no superpowers trying to fight one of the most powerful villains out there. It just doesn't work. Where this one, it takes that ridiculousness and really turns it up, and it reminds me of a lot of Deadpool, especially Deadpool 2. There's a lot of scenes you can see that they took influence from that. An 8 out of 10 for that one. House of Gucci. This movie had very good actors. It was the story. I thought this was going to be the story of how Gucci was made, but it's not. It takes place way after Gucci was already made, and it's the descendants of the originator of Gucci and how they're all fighting over control of Gucci. And it's a decent story, good actors, but they're doing these Italian accents that sometimes work, sometimes don't. Adam Driver's really good in this movie. Jared Leto is hilarious in this movie. He does the most stereotypical Italian voice I've ever heard ever, and I can't help but laugh every time he talks in this movie. Lady Gaga, she does an okay job. Her accent kind of goes in and out. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's terrible. Al Pacino's in this movie. There's very good actors, and the story's pretty good, but it is very long, and I think it could have used some cutting up to make this a little tighter and a better fit. But overall, pretty good movie. I would give it like a 6 out of 10. It's not the greatest. some of the story just needs to be cut up, and it would be a lot better. But In the Heights, these last two that I'm doing are musicals. If you don't like musicals, you're not obviously going to like these. But In the Heights was really good. It's made by the person that made Hamilton, so it's that kind of like rappy, singing type of stuff. I really like his movies. I really like his music. Lin-Manuel is really good at musicals. It's just about regular people in the city and their daily lives and trying to get out of the city and what their dreams are and stuff. It's a good movie. I like musicals, so 8 out of 10 for that. And then West Side Story. This one, I do like musicals, but this one just didn't do it for me. It was very... The story was just kind of boring, kind of drug out for a long time. It didn't feel as upbeat and fast paced as In the Heights. Just really dragged out, and there were some story moments that I thought were really dumb. But I mean, I guess it was part of the old story too. But those things should really be updated in a remake. So, whatever. 5 out of 10 for that. Average musical movie. Thank you for joining me. This is a longer one, but hopefully I'll be getting back to doing some more reviews more often. Spider-Man should be coming up soon. We have that one planned out. But thank you for joining me. If you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.